The New York Knicks are officially in the NBA Finals, y'all. The first time since 1999. I don't even think my parents were dating in 1999. Was the last time that the New York Knicks were in the NBA Finals. Insanity, y'all. I keep saying insanity because it's crazy. Throughout my whole life, the New York Knicks have never been that good. The how good they've been over the last couple of seasons has been the best the Knicks have been over the course of my life. Facts. And now they're 4 games away from being NBA champions. I did not do a recap on Game 3, and I'm not going to say too much about tonight's game either because after I saw Game 3, actually I was traveling Game 3, so I listened to it on the radio. After I heard what I heard in Game 3 about how the Cavs basically played with no heart at all, no urgency, I said, okay, I don't got to drop a video for Game 3. I don't got to do a recap for Game 4 because this is going to be a sweep. Tonight's game went pretty much how you would expect it to go. The Cavs got blown out, and the Knicks going to the finals. So I'm not going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about what's next for both sides. What's next for the New York Knicks? They have about a week off, and then they got game 1 of the finals against either San Antonio or OKC. Now, of course, coming into the playoffs, coming into the conference finals, I felt like, man, the Knicks are pretty good. The Cavs are, they're an all right team. But the champion's definitely going to come out of the West. I think watching the New York Knicks and the way they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, ever since Game 3 against the Hawks, watching them ever since that game, it would be more than disrespectful to say that they don't have a chance to win the championship. They're the hottest team in the league right now. They're firing on all cylinders. Offensively, this is the best I've ever seen the Knicks offensively. Brunson's doing his thing. Mikal Bridges. I think Mikal Bridges has a record. I think it has the most the most games over 50% or over 60% shooting from the field in playoff history. He might have had 11 games. It might be 11 in a row tonight, but before tonight it was 10 games in a row. Karl-Anthony Towns, they've used him in so many different ways. They use him as a hub to be a facilitator, and he's in this series we saw him get back to kind of being Karl-Anthony Towns, where he's actually trying to score the ball. OG Anunoby's playing the best basketball of his career. The Knicks are crazy. They got good guys on the bench. Shamet comes in, gives a good minutes. McBride comes in. Jordan Clarkson has changed his whole play style. He went from a 6-man chucker to a guy coming in and playing defense. Mitchell Robinson, we know his impact. The New York Knicks are a threat. And I'm going to be honest. If I was to predict, I think they would struggle with the Spurs. For sure. But I'm looking at OKC with no J-Dub and no AJ Mitchell. If they get out of San Antonio, I think there's a legit stance that I can say that the Knicks would beat them as currently constructed. They got a bunch of defenders. They got a bunch of scorers. I'm loving it. Now the story of the Knicks goes beyond just tonight's win. I think I said it in the video last year when they made the conference finals. This started a couple years ago, I think in 2020, 2021. When they brought in Leon Rose and he changed the culture. Because the Knicks were the laughing stock of the league. They were a poverty franchise despite being one of the most valued franchises in the NBA in terms of how much they cost and stuff. But with James Dolan running things, and I think it was Charles Oakley got kicked out of a game. I remember that like it was yesterday. It was just so much that was wrong with the Knicks. And they brought in Leon Rose and his team, and they switched it around. They made the playoffs that year, lost to my Hawks, of course. And then I think they missed the playoffs the next season, ended up getting Brunson. And ever since Brunson came, they've been a constant contender in the Eastern Conference. Back-to-back second-round appearances, made the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and tonight they advanced to the finals. Crazy. I think this is the best Knicks team we've probably ever seen as far as a whole unit. Spectacular, man. I was going back and forth with my homeboy in the group chat. Now, I kind of want to get y'all thoughts as well. But I said that Jalen Brunson, is he the greatest Knick ever? And I think he is. I said I don't know if he's the best Knick ever. as in like player. You know, I don't know if Brunson's the best player to ever wear a Knicks uniform. You know, I think Carmelo Anthony is the best Knick ever, and y'all can disagree with me, but whatever. But I can't disagree with I can't get mad at you if you say Brunson's better. Because what he does, he's elite offensively. He's just playoff stats. He's a playoff riser to the tenfold, y'all. To the tenfold, man. You know? And you look at how this team was constructed. Jalen Brunson took a major pay cut. Jalen Brunson could have got paid, y'all. He took a major pay cut and said, hey, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Go get me some guys. Go build this roster out. And with that, they were able to go get Mikal Bridges, who Mikal Bridges saved his life. And I say yes, his life because he's in New York, and New Yorkers are crazy. He saved his life with the way he's played over the last couple of weeks. Because the conversation was, dang, we should have 5 first-round picks for you. Like, that was the conversation. But if they go on and win a championship, now it's like you trade 5 first-round picks for a championship, which is it's cool. You can live with that. Karl-Anthony Towns, there was conversations about whether he was the guy. He was in trade rumors this trade deadline. There was a point in the middle of the season he said, I don't know my role. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing out here. Now he's playing probably the best basketball of his career, the most impactful basketball of his career. OG Anunoby, he hurt his hamstring, but he's playing the best basketball of his career. Josh Hart still doing his thing. It's just crazy. The culture that the Knicks have built, insane. And they're a very old team as well. I think that they're their oldest team left in the playoffs right now. Oh, of course, because it's just San Antonio, OKC, but they're a pretty seasoned team. And this is going to be a lot of those guys' first time getting to the finals. You know what I'm saying? So that's just shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. I want to see who they gonna match up with before I get my predictions. We're gonna have a prediction video for sure when the Western Conference is kind of settled. Because you look at OKC, I mean, you look at the Knicks. Yes, I did say I like them against OKC, but they actually did beat the Spurs 2 out of 3 times this season. They did. So we gotta see what happens. Moving on to losing team, man. The Cavaliers. The Cavaliers have a lot of questions to answer. The Cavs have a lot of questions to answer. I'm going to say it one more time. The Cavs have a lot of questions to answer. Kenny Atkinson might have just lost his job over these 4 games. Might have lost his job, y'all. Because the stuff he was saying, his decision-making in this series was horrible. Horrible. Game 1, you could have pulled Harden out the game just to put another defender out there so it wouldn't get switched. You're about 22 points. 22 points, 7:52 left in the fourth quarter, and you lose that game. Game 2, you're going to lose. Game 3, you're going to lose. Game 4, you get blown out. Kenny Atkinson could very well be out the door, y'all. He could be out the door, and it sucks because he made the conference finals for the first time for the Cavs without LeBron, but the way they went out, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Nobody. Donovan Mitchell. I said it before the series started. I don't know if he's that guy. And I think he's an elite scorer. But in terms of raising the floor of others, that's not him. That's not him. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna put this series on him. Because I think management knew that. Management realized, okay, Donovan Mitchell's a great scorer, but he's not really a good floor general. So let's go and get James Harden. And they traded for James Harden, and James Harden was doing his thing. When he first got to the Cavs, they were like, this is like a match made. I think they won their first 8 games. This is like a match made in heaven. Allen was playing good. Mobley was playing good. Mitchell was playing good. Harden was playing good. Everything was working to perfection. And then the playoffs hit. And Harden has done what he's done over the last, what year is it, 2025? Last 6 or 7 years, 8, no, he's probably close to a decade now. Harden folded in the playoffs. Folded in the playoffs. Evan Mobley did not have the craziest playoff run. Had a couple of good moments, but did not have the craziest playoff run. Jared Allen, I'm satisfied with him. I think Jared Allen played good over the course of the playoffs compared to how he's played in the past. For sure. I think he did good. But I think now that you're out of the playoffs and you're going into the offseason, you have to take a step back and think about this Garland-Harden trade. The trade for Harden was to win now. And I'm not opposed to it. I wasn't opposed to it. I think you probably could have swung a little bit higher and went and got somebody else, like a Giannis or something. But you would have Trey Mobley, and I guess they wanted to keep Mobley over. They wanted to keep Mobley and not get Giannis. Beyond me. But you made the trade for Harden. Bring him in and have him elevate the floor of these guys, particularly the bigs. And he did for a time, but when the playoffs hit, he wasn't doing it no more. So now you got to sit back and think, man, if this window closes, we traded away a 26-year-old point guard in Darius Garland for a 36-year-old point guard in James Harden. If the Cavs don't win the championship over the they don't win it next season, that trade's going to go down as one of the worst trades they've done. Because now you've jeopardized your future. You've jeopardized it. And that is not what you want if you are a Cavs fan or you're in that Cavs front office. Not what you want at all. So we got to see what happens. I think Harden has a player option for this season, for next season. And I think he's going to accept it because I want to say it goes for like $40 million. I want to say it goes for like $40 million, so there's no way that he does not accept the player option because I don't think he's going to get $40 million from somewhere else. If you can get him to take a little pay cut, do like a little 2-year for $40 million, then you do that. You try to bring in more pieces, but I just don't know. I think what we saw this year is as far as you're going to get with James Harden as your point guard, as a guy that's supposed to be the head of your team, one of the heads of your team. I think this is as far as you get. He's not getting any younger, y'all. He's not going to get any better. It's just the truth. And I said it after game 2. It might be the coaching because I feel like bringing in James Harden was not for him to be the guy or be one of the guys. You brought him in so he could be the quarterback. And that's just, it didn't work out. It did not work out. But, man, that's all I got, man. We're going to have a recap to Game 5 tomorrow between OKC and San Antonio. Gosh. The Knicks are in the NBA Finals. And I'm going to close with this. If the Knicks are in the Finals and they don't sweep everybody but one team, how good is that team? How good are them Hawks? We was up 2-1 on the Knicks. I was at Game 3. Maybe I should have went to more games. We might be in the Finals right now if I would have went to more games. Man. Until next time, I'm going for 2. We out of here. Yeah.